Hi there, my name is Johan bin Othman, and I'm here to present my composition called For Bagatelles for the piano solo.
My name is Hosuhan. I'm from Johor. I will be performing Four Bagatelles by Johan Othman. Four Bagatelles is actually quite a short and simple pieces. There's as the title suggests, it's four short bagatelles pieced together. The first three are rather short. The fourth one is significantly longer than the first three, and I would say the fourth one is quite challenging for me in terms of rhythm. The four bagatelles inspired by haiku, the Japanese short poems, and that kind of explain how short each of them is.
And the idea of basing on the bagatelles also comes from my exposure to music classes, history and theory, especially that there can be music that expressed in a very brief time frame. The folk bagatelles is conceived from the idea that small music, especially from the West, can be associated very closely even to certain concepts of the Eastern philosophy or Eastern thinking. For example, the idea of smallness, the idea of emptiness.
So for me, when in the music, there's a lot of rest, a lot of empty space, big intervals, big range. A lot of all those things is something I would, like the emptiness is, I think, is a good word to describe. So, according to Johan's suggestion, that I should, kind of have a minimal use of paddling, so that we can keep the overall sound as dry as possible. And also, if we think about, the emptiness, the Japanese ideas, we would think about less expression. So that's also what the composer is suggesting to me, not to be overly emotional or expressive.
And of course, we cannot escape from the idea of using all 12 tones of the Western scale system, Western notation system. So I took this as a creative task to see whether I can somehow use the language of my musical upbringing, musical learning, musical education, and somehow subtly express this idea of a Far Eastern philosophy. So I took it upon myself to see whether I can come up with a piece based on this idea all put together.
I hope that the audience can appreciate the sparseness of the sound and the texture in this work.